I found a bone with meat on it for the first time. Excited, I ran wildly down the street, but my lunch was knocked out of my mouth. I anxiously searched through the crowd. If I couldn't find it, I would go hungry again today. Just then, a military unit happened to be marching down the street, but I had no interest in watching the commotion. I simply stared longingly at the bread in a woman's hand. A recruit named Robert noticed me and figured I must be starving, so he pulled a biscuit from his pocket and tossed it to me. The moment I saw it, I swallowed it in one bite, but a single biscuit was nowhere near enough to fill my stomach. I quickly came up with a way to get more food. I hurried after the unit and followed Robert all the way to the entrance of the military camp, where a guard stopped me. Realizing I wasn't welcome there, I was about to leave when I suddenly caught an irresistible scent. Through a gap in the wooden fence, I even saw Robert training inside. Instantly excited, I started digging a hole in the ground and squeezed through the opening into the camp. Following the scent, I made my way to the kitchen. The table was covered with racks of ribs, and I was immediately captivated. But before I could take a bite, a cleaver nearly came down on me. Terrified, I took off running. In the chaos, I ran into Robert, who had been searching for me. To get his attention, I immediately started barking. My barking caught the drill instructor's attention. He asked whose dog I was. I immediately looked up at Robert. Robert panicked and quickly signaled with his eyes for me to leave. But instead of getting angry, the instructor told Robert to take good care of me. Training then resumed. To everyone's surprise, I actually stood at attention along with the soldiers. Seeing such a well-behaved dog, the instructor couldn't help but laugh. From then on, with the instructor's approval, I began living in the camp with Robert. Every day, I trained alongside the soldiers. At first, I was a little confused, but as time passed, I not only learned to understand commands and perform the corresponding actions, but I also did exceptionally well during intense training. At the same time, I became a valuable helper around the camp. Whenever the soldiers finished target practice, I would carry the targets back for the instructor to inspect. Everyone liked me very much, and they gave me the name Stubby. One day, a general suddenly arrived to inspect the camp. When he saw me, he became furious and demanded to know why there was a dog in the military camp. This time, Robert bravely stepped forward. He told the general that I was his dog and gave him a formal salute. When I saw Robert salute, I copied him and gave one myself. The truth was, I didn't really understand what a salute meant. As a dog, I was simply showing my remarkable social intelligence. I knew that if I copied my owner's actions, I might earn the approval of the highest-ranking officer present. Seeing this, the general immediately looked at me differently and officially allowed me to remain in the camp as a soldier. Then one day, the soldiers received orders from headquarters. They were about to be sent to a dangerous battlefield, but the general wanted me to remain behind in the camp. Robert immediately became worried. I seemed to sense something was wrong, but there was nothing I could do except watch Robert leave. Then I suddenly thought of a way. I bit through my leash and dashed away. Running as fast as I could, I finally reached the harbor. The soldiers were boarding the ship one after another, but I was stopped at the entrance. Then I noticed cargo being loaded onto the ship. I quietly slipped over and crawled into a crate. Afterward, I secretly made my way into the soldiers' quarters and used my keen sense of smell to find Robert's bunk. Robert was overjoyed to see me, but he was also worried. We had to find a way to hide me. However, the commander still discovered us. Seeing that things were going badly, I immediately put my special talents to use. In the end, not only was I not thrown off the ship, but I was also awarded my own military tag because of what I did. After a long march, we soon arrived at the battlefield. The air was filled with the smell of death. For me, with my extraordinary sense of smell, every second was a test of my physical limits. The soldiers stationed there had low morale, but I didn't care. As soon as I arrived, I used my special ability to drive away the rats that were stealing the soldiers' rations. Before long, however, I witnessed the cruelty of war with my own eyes. Countless artillery shells rained down from the sky, one after another. Robert quickly shielded me with his body, allowing me to survive the bombardment. When the smoke finally cleared, I was no longer afraid. Using my sharp sense of smell, I located a soldier buried beneath the rubble. With my help, he received medical treatment in time and survived. Lying on a stretcher, he repeatedly thanked me. Later, while accompanying the soldiers on a reconnaissance mission, I suddenly discovered that the enemy was preparing a gas attack. We had to return immediately and warn the rest of the unit so everyone could prepare their protective equipment. But unexpectedly, we were ambushed on the way back. At the critical moment, I lunged at Robert. Although he was completely unharmed, his horse was startled and lost control. Seeing the situation become critical, Robert took out his gas mask and signaled for me to return and warn the others. I instantly understood what he meant and raced back toward the unit. Not long afterward, the enemy launched the first gas shell. Green poisonous gas quickly spread through the sky. At the crucial moment, I rushed back into the trench. I repeatedly tugged at an officer's gas mask with my teeth. The officer immediately understood what I was trying to tell him, quickly put on the mask, and sounded the alarm. But I didn't stop there. I used my mouth to pull gas masks out of the supply crates one by one, warning everyone to take protective measures. Thanks to my help, not a single soldier in the entire unit was injured. However, at that very moment, the enemy launched another gas shell. The poisonous cloud became even thicker and began drifting toward a nearby residential area.